guys, it's Becky, and today I am doing my long-awaited book haul. I've been meaning to get around to filming another book haul for a couple months now. I think my last one was in like July, so I kept putting it off and I kept accumulating more books, so I have quite a big stack to show you guys, even though I was supposed to be on a book buying ban. Oops. Also, if you've noticed, my background is a bit different angle. I got a new phone and I decided I wanted to try to film with that, so I apologize if you can see my mess in my room. It's always there, sorry. But anyway, book haul, let's get started. Alright, the first 4 books I have are for a course I am taking this semester at school, so I'm not going to talk about them too much, just like maybe one sentence. Anyway, the first one I have is A Changed Man by Francine Prose. I have already read this one. Brief synopsis: it's about an ex-neo-Nazi white supremacist who wants to change people who used to think like him. Yeah, it's okay. Number 2 for the course is In the Place of Justice by Wilbert Raido, and this is about a man who kills someone, is put on death row, and stays in prison for 44 years, and it's about his life in Angola prison in the 1960s. Book number 3 is The Sojourn by Andrew Krivak, and this is a war story. Currently reading it. Not very far in, so yeah, war story. And book number 4 is Brother, I'm Dying by Edwidge Danticat, maybe? I'm not really sure, and I absolutely have no idea what this book is about, and I kind of don't want to know until I start reading it, so yeah, there we go. Alright, now moving on to the exciting books, which are the books that I want to read, not for school. So the first couple, I don't think I've hauled before. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do them again just in case. First, I have Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. This is the 3rd and final book in the Anna and the French Kiss companion trilogy. And obviously this book is about a girl named Isla, and she has had a crush on this boy named Josh for as long as she can remember, and it is about their beautiful story. This one is my favorite. I love it. It's perfect. Next, I have Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout, the first book in the Lux series by her. I have never read this series. I've never actually read anything by her, but I saw a tweet that it was free on Kindle one day, so I was like, hey, I kind of want to read this. It's about aliens. I like alien books. Let's do it. So yeah, there's your synopsis. It's about aliens, and a girl who loves books is about all I've gotten from it. So yeah, there you go. Next, I have Water Walker by Ted Dekker. Again, I actually really don't know what this book is about, but I have several of Ted Dekker's books. I think I have most of them, actually. So, and I was at a coffee shop, and there was a leave one, take one book selection, and I've left plenty of books there before, so I took this one. Okay, next, I actually have 3 classics that I found for bargain price at a bookstore. I think they're about $3 each, which made me really excited. And the first one I have is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I did read this one last year for my senior English class, and I fell in love with this. Jane Eyre is definitely my favorite classic. It follows a young lady named Jane Eyre, obviously, and it follows her throughout her childhood up until her young adult life, and her story basically, and I love it, and it's beautiful. And I also really enjoy the Masterpiece Theater adaptation of this book into film. It's like in 5 TV episode type things, and it's wonderful, and I love it, and everyone needs to watch it. Yes. Yeah. I love Jane. Alright, next I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, which I believe is a story about a young man named Heathcliff and a girl named Catherine and their love story and the outcome of that, I suppose. I really don't know. I don't know much about this. I just know I want to read it. And finally, I have Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Again, apologize. Do not know what this is about. I'm not good at keeping up with my classics. That's a problem. But I have read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which I feel like if anyone's read a Jane Austen book, it's Pride and Prejudice. But I have a couple other of her books, and I love this edition. I love the stained glass. I think it's beautiful. So I got it, and I'm going to read it eventually. Next, I have Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series, which is wonderful. read it. This is a fantasy book following a young girl named Selena Sargothian who is an assassin. And this is the third book in the series, so obviously I'm not going to say anything about this, and plus you've probably heard countless things about the series anyway. But yes, this one was wonderful and beautiful. Can you see the tabs? I don't know if you can. There's a lot. This is probably, definitely one of my favorite books I've read this year, like top 2 at least. It's beautiful. This isn't a wrap up. I should probably stop talking about what I think about the books. Whoops. The next 3 books I have, I got for $2 a piece. So, I mean, I might have a lot of books, but at least I'm finding them cheap sometimes. So, hey, there we go. So I have Black City and Phoenix by Elizabeth Richards. I believe these 2 are fantasy novels. I think it's an urban fantasy. And it's compared to a Romeo and Juliet type love story. And honestly, half of the reason I even wanted to get these is because one of the characters is called a Darkling, and I absolutely adore the Darkling from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so that kind of aided in my decision. Whoops. And the other book I picked up for $2 was Chopsticks by Jessica Anthony and Rodrigo Corral. And this book, if you did not know, is told entirely in pictures. Okay, yeah, you got the point. This follows a young girl named Glory who is a piano prodigy, and what happens when she meets a boy named Frank and their love story and how they have to deal with everything because she's always traveling and things like that. Yup. I'm barely even talking about the books. This is going to be one mess of a book haul. Next, I have The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simon. And this is a World War II love story following a girl named Tatiana and a soldier in the army named Alexander. And I've heard that this book is super, super great and also very emotional. So I'm very excited to finally get into this whopper. Next, I have The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and from what I can gather, this is about a boy named Bod, who lives in a graveyard. This is a middle grade fantasy book, and from what I can gather, he just goes on a lot of fun adventures, but there is also a murderer who killed his family that I believe if he leaves the graveyard, the murder will come after him or something along those lines. But if Bod leaves the graveyard, he will be in danger from the man Jack, who has already killed Bod's family. I've never read anything by Neil Gaiman, but I have seen Coraline. That was originally written by him, as well as a couple of Doctor Who episodes that I loved that he wrote. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into actual Neil Gaiman words. The next book I have is The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey, which is the second book in the Fifth Wave trilogy. The Fifth Wave trilogy is about an alien invasion, so obviously a sci-fi book, and it follows a multitude of characters, both human and less human. In my opinion, the series is really, really good so far. I mean, like this one, I know several people haven't really been a big fan of this one compared to the first book, but I still really enjoyed it. It's written wonderfully. I love the characters, I love the story, and it's just really good. So if you haven't read it, I think you should give it a chance. Yes! Next, I have another middle grade book, and that is The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove. And from what I can gather, there was an event that took place that separated each continent or each country into different time eras. So yeah, going on adventures throughout different time eras, that sounds super fun. I'm really excited to get into it, and I also really adore this cover because it's like see-through. It's nice. Yeah. Next, I have Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. This is the only Morgan Matson book I have not read yet, excluding the like Katie Finn books, because I just discovered that was her like a month ago. But anyway, this book is about a girl named Taylor, and her father was just diagnosed with cancer, or he's in the last stages of cancer. He has cancer. So her and her family decide to take one last trip to their beach house over the summer because chances are it's the last trip they'll ever be able to make. And she has not been there for several years, so along with dealing with family issues with her father and things like that, she is also having to deal with friendships and relationships that she had not closed off from the last time she was there. So it sounds like it's going to be a super emotional book, and I really enjoyed Morgan Matson's, well, both of her books, but I really enjoyed Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by her, so I'm really excited to finally get into this, even though it's technically fall now. oh well. Next I have The Pirate's Wish by Cassandra Rose Clark. This is the second book in the Assassin's Curse duology. I don't know if it has a technical title or not, and I actually do not own the first copy yet. I did order it, but it has not come yet. I want to say it's about a girl who runs away from her kingdom or something, and an assassin is sent after her, but then they become bound by some curse or something like that. I really don't know what it's about anymore, but yeah. If you didn't know, these books are going out of print here soon because the publishing house that printed them is being shut down, so get your hands on them quick. I'm gonna put this down now. Next I have The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and for one, this cover is gorgeous. I'm so happy I finally have it. And this is about a princess who is forced into marrying a prince that she's never met before, and she doesn't want to do it, so she runs away. So an assassin is sent after her to kill her, and she encounters the assassin and she also encounters the prince, but she does not know who is who, as well as the reader does not know who is who throughout a solid majority of the book, and I'm super excited. That sounds very interesting and very mysterious, and I really want to read this before I'm spoiled. Right, and finally I have Burn for Burn and Fire with Fire, written by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. From what I have heard, this is basically a revenge story following a group of girls who have been wronged and want to get revenge. Not 100% sure if that's entirely true, but I think so. But basically, if something is written by Jenny Han at this point, I will buy it because I have loved every single book I have read by her. Alrighty guys, so that was my very late and very long book haul. Thank you if you stuck through it all, and I will see you hopefully soon with another video. Bye! Hey guys, it's Becky, and today it's gonna be really weird for me to remember to look at the camera and not myself. Well, and I also really enjoy the Masterpiece Theater Edition version.